Under the previous administration, we looked like fools. Not anymore. President Trump has reestablished American leadership. The F-47 is part of it. And Mr. President, thank you for having the courage to do it and leading the way for all our warfighters.
Thank you.
We're $36 trillion in debt. You've never had a Doge. We've never come in and looked at our government the way, Mr. President, you've looked at this government and said, there's too many people, there's contracts, fraud, waste, and abuse. And so we've had a few bumps in the road as we've gone through this process, but if you look around this room, everybody has seen how the process has evolved, and everyone appreciates some of the insight and technical support that we've gotten to make this government more efficient, to make it more responsive to the American people. And so, again, when you have a new system like this, you'll get some bumps. But things are rolling out. The last 3 weeks have been much, much better as our teams have integrated and we're working to deliver for the American people. And our changes and administrations change. We have to do this fast, which is why we need the partnership from the Congress to give us the money up front. The best ideas and the best technology available in the world, we're going to build in the system. I think, Mr. President, we can do it in 3 years. I think Trump Tower was built in 3 or 3.5 years. I think we could match the Trump Tower timeframe.
I do not say this lightly, but today is the stupidest day in Donald Trump's presidency, making it the stupidest day in American history. It was just revealed that Donald Trump's national security advisors, along with Pete Hegseth, have accidentally been leaking war plans to reporters via a Signal group chat. These are MAGA DEI hires who are unqualified to do the most important jobs in this country, being directed by the dumbest president we've ever had. This couldn't be clearer. And it became somehow even clearer when Donald Trump was confronted by this at a press conference by a reporter, and his brain just broke. We've seen Donald Trump get slower, dumber, and more out of it over the past couple of weeks, months, and years. But today was the pinnacle, with him just completely losing it. We are going to get into all of this, but before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, before we get into Donald Trump being asked about those plans, I want to see what he started this press conference with. Just a broken brain.
The investment, partly because of tariffs. On April 2nd, the reciprocal tariffs will go into effect. Is it truly reciprocal? Are there some countries that might get a break or some sectors that might get a break?
Well, I may give a lot of countries breaks, but it's reciprocal, but we might be even nicer than that. You know, we've been very nice to a lot of countries for a long time, but I call it Liberation Day. April 2nd is Liberation Day. But today, as you know, we did something with respect to Venezuela. You heard about that. And that will be quite important. We'll be announcing some additional tariffs over the next few days, having to do with automobiles, cars, and having also to do a little bit with lumber down the road, lumber and chips. We're going to get all those chip companies coming back. They're already coming back without even doing it. So it's been very good. But we'll be announcing some others. But for the most...
You can clearly tell that this is not a smart man. What is he even saying? This whole tariff saga, as the Wall Street Journal, the Wall Street Journal owned by Rupert Murdoch termed it, is the dumbest trade war in history. So Donald Trump is now saying that the tariffs are going away, and he's actually going to support other countries. We're doing the opposite of a trade war. He is off and on every single day with what he wants to do. In terms of this economic policy, because he doesn't understand it, he's just fundamentally a dumb person. And it is having broad effects on our economy and on businesses throughout America. It's why CEOs are calling out Donald Trump, because he is an embarrassment. There's only one CEO that he actually cares about, and it's Elon Musk, who he was talking about right here.
Asked me for a thing, and I think that's an amazing tribute. I did get activated last week when I saw what they were doing. I said, he makes an incredible product, and we're going to go out and tell people you can't do that stuff and support him. They got to support him, because if he wasn't doing this, he wouldn't have any of these difficulties. And I think it's getting less and less. Pam has done a great job with regard to all of the, you know, I mean, I know the kind of investigations that are going on. If she finds them, which she will, she already found 4 of them. But I think they're going to suffer very grave consequences, because they're really terrorists when you think about it. They're very terrorists at a high level. And I think the people that are financing them, they could very well be people I know, people that you write about. But those people are in big trouble, so they better cut it out. But Elon's a patriot. We want to thank.
Are we being serious right now? These people are being paid by who? George Soros? Stop with this boogeyman stuff. I'm so tired of it. Maybe people are protesting Elon Musk because he wants to take away their Social Security, their Medicaid. He's destroying the FAA. He's breaking every government program that actually works in an effort to enrich himself and avoid any accountability for his corruption. Maybe that's why Elon's being protested. Maybe it's not some big conspiracy. Maybe you're just too stupid to understand that people have empathy for others and are annoyed and pissed off with our terrible co-president. But like I said, Donald Trump, after being confronted with that question, had a bit of a brain meltdown, and it started in this clip right here.
Your reaction to the story in The Atlantic that said that some of your top cabinet officials and aides had been discussing very sensitive material through Signal and included an Atlantic reporter for that. What is your response to that?
I don't know anything about it. I'm not a big fan of The Atlantic. To me, it's a magazine that's going out of business. I think it's not much of a magazine, but I know nothing about it. You're saying that they had what?
They were using Signal to coordinate on sensitive materials and
Having to do with what? Having to do with what? What were they talking about?
with the Houthis.
The Houthis? You mean the attack on the Houthis?
Right.
Well, it couldn't have been very effective because the attack was very effective. I can tell you that. I don't know anything about it. You're telling me about it for the first time. Anybody else? Doing all right, Steve. I tell you, he went through a lot, and he's stronger than ever.
So Donald Trump was referring to Steve Scalise as Steve. So the mouth clearly wasn't working, but it was also his brain. Because you could clearly tell he had completely forgotten. Usha Vance's name in this clip, right here.
Were invited over there, and I thought it would be I have great respect for the wife of our of our great vice president. I think she's a brilliant woman. She's a very nice woman, and she loves the concept of Greenland, and so.
This man has a deteriorating brain. Donald Trump gets dumber by the day. We see it whenever he opens his mouth. And we also see it in the incompetence around his administration. These are not smart people. I am so tired of allowing MAGA to pretend that Elon Musk is some super genius and that Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, or RFK Jr. are these high-level thinkers about whatever it is they talk about. They're not. They're not smart people. They are conspiracy theorists who are maybe good on MAGA TV. But that's about the extent of what they can do. They cannot do the most important jobs in this country, and it just continues to be played out. Like, it continues to play out in everything we see. These are people who are currently being influenced by Russian state media, as Donald Trump was asked about right here.
Crane, in an interview with Time magazine published this morning, President Zelensky said he believes that some members of your team have been influenced by Russian information. Those were his words. What do you have to say to that?
Well, probably they have been influenced to get this thing settled because Ukraine wants to see it settled. I think they have to have it settled, and Russia wants to see it settled. And I think if I weren't president, this would never happen.
I think we all saw the clip of Steve Witkoff saying that he was so taken with Vladimir Putin and his praise of Trump, saying that he prayed for his friend and gave him this beautiful portrait. And it made him think maybe Putin's not that bad of a guy. Maybe this murderous dictator who invaded our ally, maybe he's a swell, misunderstood fella. Maybe he's got some love in his heart. No, he is a murderous dictator. And you're selling out our ally to him because he gave Donald Trump a nice little picture of himself. These people are so stupid, and dictators know that. That's why they wanted Donald Trump, not just for him, but for the rest of his administration, people easily controlled and swayed. It is shocking. It is shocking. And we continue to see it play out in the most important aspects of our government and keeping us safe, like Donald Trump being asked about the FAA.
Very, very fairly. I'd like to ask, if I might, Sean Duffy to say a few words about the air traffic control situation. You know, there were some mishaps, one in particular, the helicopter crashing into the plane. We have a system that's 40 years old. They spent tens of billions of dollars trying to patch it up, and make it work, but it doesn't work. And my pilot says they use different systems. They don't want to use our system. It's so obsolete.
I don't even know what he's trying to say here. Sometimes I can kind of translate Donald Trump, but this is just gibberish. They have a system that's not our system, that they're not using system. A system. Like, I'm sorry, I said it. This is the dumbest day in American history. How is this guy president? We are governed by the stupidest people in our country. It's like he handpicked them. It's not like he handpicked them. He did handpick them. This is the MAGA plan. Break government so they can point to it and say, it's broken. Maybe we should get rid of it. They want to privatize everything. They want to strip all of the most important social programs. And then, you know what they're going to do with that cash, right? Elon Musk, a bigger and bigger tax cut every single year. The dumbest people in the world are governing us. Listen to Steve Duffy, Sean Duffy. I don't even know what his actual name is. Right here.
We're $36 trillion in debt. You've never had a Doge. We've never come in and looked at our government the way, Mr. President, you've looked at this government and said, there's too many people, there's contracts, fraud, waste, and abuse. And so we've had a few bumps in the road as we've gone through this process, but if you look around this room, everybody has seen how the process has evolved, and everyone appreciates some of the insight and technical support that we've gotten to make this government more efficient, to make it more responsive to the American people. And so, again, when you have a new system like this, you'll get some bumps. But things are rolling now. The last 3 weeks have been much, much better as our teams have integrated and we're working to deliver for the American people. And our changes and administrations change. We have to do this fast, which is why we need the partnership from the Congress to give us the money up front. The best ideas and the best technology available in the world, we're going to build in the system. I think, Mr. President, we can do it in 3 years. I think Trump Tower was built in 3 or 3.5 years. I think we could match the Trump Tower time frame.
2 years.
Okay.
2 years.
Maybe not that good, but about 3 years. And again, it's a
Oh, round of applause, round of applause. Sean, great job. Planes aren't crashing in the two-a-days anymore. It's like, oh, now we're only seeing one plane crash every other day. It's a huge improvement. Yeah, when you go from planes constantly crashing to planes sometimes crashing, that's not success. What's success is the 0 plane crashes we saw under the Biden administration. But what does Sean Duffy know? He's a reality TV star who blamed DEI and Pete Buttigieg for problems that Elon Musk and Donald Trump created at the FAA as they attacked air traffic controllers doing incredibly difficult jobs. I don't even know what to say anymore. Except once again, we are governed by the dumbest people, who clearly don't think so. Because take a listen to Pete Hegseth right here.
Under the previous administration, we looked like fools. Not anymore. President Trump has reestablished American leadership. The F-47 is part of it. And Mr. President, thank you for having the courage to do it and leading the way for all our warfighters.
Oh, it was the Biden administration. It was the Biden administration. The Biden administration made us look dumb. Pete Hegseth is a drunk, like it's probably why he was sharing our war plans. He's probably on, Scotch and soda number 8, just texting them away, and maybe throwing them up on his Instagram story. This guy is a joke. He should resign today. This is embarrassing. How is this our government? I'm sorry. I hope you understand how furious I am. I usually try to keep this stuff level-headed, but I can't today. This is nonsensical. These people are embarrassing. All of them should resign. I just can't. But we're going to call them out. That's our job. We've got to keep doing it, by God. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around until the end, I don't know how you got through all this, but I hope I made you feel a little bit better. You can drop a blue heart in the comments, and until next time, I'll see you.